can't see my toy. Where's my toy? You quit moving me.
I didn't move you.
You quit moving me.
It's
You
a
didn't?
different
Okay, I
shot.
thought you were
You're
moving.
moving. Yeah, you can't. Don't move anything because I
Trying to show
set
my
up
toy.
all the shots. I know, but remember, we were on a little bitty shot for the thing. We weren't on this shot. You can't be moving around.
Oh, look, it's purple. I need to show green so you can see it. Okay, go ahead. Put us in.
We're in.
Oh, Ari.
Yeah.
Put green so you can see it. There we go. Hold on, I gotta do one thing. We're in, but I'm right here. We're in.
We are in. I am going to.
We're in. Ooh, it's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks.
Hold up 1 second. You gotta check
All
your
right.
email in a second. Because I'm gonna send you a link to for this the good document.
Okay. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Hey.
You got.
Yeah.
All right, heroes.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Ooh.
everybody.
Good morning. I'm a little deep today. I'm a little deep. Just a tad bit. Just a tad bit deep.
All right, I sent you the link. Good morning, everybody. I can't see anybody right this second, but we will see you, and I will see you in a moment, momentarily. TK knows who's there, though. We're just about to share those.
Oh, I got to request access. Oh, hold on. I don't want to be signed in as Jade's Heart. This thing keeps going to Jade's Heart.
Oh, is that what it's doing? Yeah, switch your.
Yeah, I'm switching the account. It's still saying I need access. Okay, so requested access.
Okay, let me open up mine.
Hey, friend.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey,
friend.
That's my friend.
Oh, because you opened it with your other thing. Is it?
Well, it sent when Yahoo. I went.
Send. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go. You should have access now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Open it with Yahoo. It just goes to. Okay. What? There it is. Oh, that's the document you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. That is the document.
I want to see if I can download it to where we only see that, or do I have to keep it in Google Doc?
It has to be a Google Doc.
Okay, that's fine.
Because that's the best way for both of us to go through it. I'll share that one since you're doing the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And that way,
Miss Nett, you see my gift? Oh, sorry.
Nah, you good.
I know. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about this, guys. I'm trying to lift it up. It's a clap over my name.
That's a cool gift right there, though. That's cool. I like that.
Everybody was like, "That's fire!" You know, I sent it to all my film people. They were like, "That's fire!"
She liked it.
So sweet.
There we go.
Yeah.
There
we go. I move it like that.
Sorry, and for some strange reason, I got outcast.
I got my daughter and my clapboard.
All right, here we go. Here we go. So we like to thank everybody who's joining us today. Fun times. If you're watching, I'm going to share this to. You know what's so funny? they did so many changes. Oops, that's not what I wanted to share. They did so many changes with Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy to me because all those changes affect how we do the things we normally used to do because it was be smooth running because we were already set up for that. And it's like now they just making all these changes. But that's the thing with like digital and industries and things that you have no control over is when they want to update and do what they want to do. If they don't let you know ahead of time what they're doing and how it's going to look and train people, it's now you got to get used to a new system, which is turn around later and going to have a whole new system again. You know, that is the problem.
Yeah, they're not going to update us. They're just going to change it and say, surprise.
Exactly. Put this in the community. Uh-huh. Yeah. It's the song is stuck in my head. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You see, now it's gonna be in your head.
It is. It definitely is.
Ah.
Let me see.
All right, I'm just posting this on all the pages. Good morning, everybody. You know what? We ready to get this going on. We got a few things we're going to talk about. And we're going to show you guys something called the hero's journey today. So we're going to talk about, of course, what we've been watching. And we're going to talk about supporting films, indie or mainstream, and why that may be important or what we need to really look at before we make hasty decisions. But we'll get deeper into that. And of course, we're going to talk about a little bit about the hero's journey and how that works for your writing, as this is something TK and I often talk about when we're writing stories and what we had to learn for storytelling. So if you're familiar with the hero's journey, this is just a refresher. If you're not, this is something new. So you might need to break out your pens and pencils and some notebooks or something to type in or whatever, so you can take a few notes. And then away we go. We got to get this started the right way. And so usually my screen is black and then this thing pops on, right? Called the Black Filmmakers Lounge.
It's black. You got the.
Sorry, I'm gonna go backwards real quick. See, I did that. See how I did that real quick? All right, so I messed up. I had it set, but then I didn't have it set because I've been writing. But let's try this one more time. Here we go. And it looks a little something like this. Welcome to the Black Filmmakers Lounge. The Black Filmmakers Lounge is where independent filmmakers, whether novice or professionals, can come together to gain insight and perspective through education, information, networking, and to discuss industry best practices that will advance the Black independent film community. The Black Filmmakers Lounge, creating our own space so we can succeed together. There we go. That was a good time.
It's never going to get old to me. I love that so much. Like, it's never going to get old.
So we like to thank each and every one of you who are joining us today, all the viewers, those who are hanging out with us. We appreciate your support. I did not drop an advertisement letting everybody know that we were coming back, but I did say we were coming back this Saturday. And I know TK won't be on next Saturday because it'll be her birthday weekend. So an early happy birthday. Oh, you'll be on?
Yeah, I don't have
never
any
mind.
plans.
She'll be on. I was going to give you an early happy birthday.
Yeah, I don't have any plans for next Saturday morning.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, my birthday's actually what, Friday?
Yeah.
Friday.
18th, yeah.
I don't have any plans for Saturday morning that I know of.
Now, in Maryland, it's supposed to have some type of snow on that Friday.
Oh.
Some type of snow. I don't know how it's going to look. It can change anytime. The weather keeps getting warm and cold, warm and cold. It just fluctuates. So
it fluctuates. Thank you, Miss Net. Michael made that. It's so nice. It's nice.
Thank you, sis. What's up, Tony? How you doing? Michael? So, TK.
Hey, Tony.
My sister. What did you watch? I know you celebrated your birthday, but what did you watch?
I I did watch the Untold Story of Anne One.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good documentary. Of course, a sports documentary. So of course, and I watched content for the Denton Black Film Festival. So
Okay.
I'm a content judge. So I did watch.
I'm gonna put you
How
right there.
close
I
we
had to
gonna
make
get?
you bigger.
This smile is your close up. Um, and I did watch that. And back me up a little, Mike. My head look. Let me see. Match
My
my
head
head.
looks huge right now, and you're like, I
Hold
gotta
on. Let me
zoom you
turn it.
in.
Let me do
That's what I
this.
was saying. Yeah, there we go. See, look,
Trying to match our heads.
I
We're
like
trying to
the
match our
movie
heads,
posters.
y'all.
I love the movie poster thing, like now showing.
Yes.
That was fun. But so okay, so and one, how? So what did you like about it? What was the?
Well, I like the story. I mean, what I liked about it was the story. I mean, I never knew the story of and one and how they came. Mama, I'm on the show. You're not watching? Okay, talk to you later.
To mama say hi.
And I have to be nice because she did have surgery this past week.
Tell mama I
But
said hello.
but look, I didn't even say, "Are you okay?" I just said I'm on the show. So
She knew too. She like, okay,
but obviously it
baby.
wasn't an emergency because she hung right up. So anyway, um, the story of Anne One and about street ball and stuff like that. I did not know the story of Anne One,
Okay.
and yeah, and their first shoe, how the first round draft pick broke his ankle in their
Mm-hmm.
first shoe.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's a really good story on the rise and fall of Anne One, and it was really enlightening. I really and all these guys that didn't make it to the NBA.
Like
Yeah,
Skip to My Lou and all them. Yeah, I used to watch the and one
yes,
videos and all that stuff. Like those were fun to watch. Like
yeah, it was heavy up there because you were in Maryland during the time where you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
up east.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right,
so
East
it was
Coast.
heavy up there. Like in Texas, they didn't even show Texas nowhere on the map. So it was heavy. Yeah, it was heavy. Look, I'm trying to send it. Okay, there we go. It was heavy during that time, and so around the East Coast, especially up north, and so it was really good. Like you said, all the professor, and it really
Yeah.
like they had story. They created the storylines in the documentary, which was really good because creating a story out of a documentary, you take all this footage and you create the story.
Mm-hmm.
And they created the story with the professor,
Mm-hmm.
and that was real. I mean, it was really good. The storyline and everything, it
And the
was really good.
music industry was big with the and one. You had the clothing,
Yes,
you had the games, you had the music. Um, and you know, it was such a big deal, it had such a huge influence on everything at the time. And you could walk into any shoe store, and especially around where we live. And, you had the and ones, you had the and one shorts, basketball outfits and stuff, but you would see their videos playing everywhere. So it was a big thing. I remember working, I forgot where I worked, and I have the old is an and one VHS from the
yes,
thing,
the
and we had
mixtape.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, that. I mean, I was watching it. I was like, oh my goodness! Like I was getting all hype and excited because it was like it was basketball and they was doing the little moves and doing
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. Yeah, and
That
then
it
that's
was really cool, and they were talking about the influence they had on some of the NBA players,
Allen
and
Iverson and all them. Yeah.
they were showing some of them now, like they were showing them doing some of their moves. They say they won't say it was our move, but they showed them doing the move back in the day, and then showed the NBA player doing a move on the courts. So it
Yeah,
was
a
really
huge influence on the sport. And it was different. And I think the power to me is in ownership, all right? And that's the big thing why I love to hear about those types of stories is when we own something and we take lead and have the power to it. It's like what Ice Cube does now with I think it's the 3-on-3.
the big 3.
Yeah, the big three. Um, and so it's I like hearing about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
those
but
type of
then it went
documentaries
into
get you thinking.
and then it take you up, and then it goes down, and it talked about how they treated the players, and like they were eating good, and the players were eating pizza all the time.
Mm, yeah, because people
All
get greedy. The unfortunate part about any
yes,
industry is when people get greedy and don't want to be beneficial to the very people that you help stabilize their industry for them to even eat in the first place. You wouldn't have that if you didn't have the players. You wouldn't sell shoes. You wouldn't sell the
I'm
outfits.
telling.
You know.
One of them threw a hot pizza in the road manager's face. They
Mm,
were so frustrated and so mad one time because they picked up a bag where they were eating this Italian food, and they picked
mm-hmm.
up the bag, and here they go with a cheese pizza. I kid you not. It was like, and and that's when they were making money, because at first, they had to build it up, but this is when they were making money. So
I
it
think.
got into all of that, which was really unfortunate. Um, that and that's why, like, when I hear filmmakers, honestly, when
Mm-hmm.
I hear filmmakers talk about they're making money on these films, but yet they want to do their next film and they're not paying, and they got volunteers and they're just paying them $2, or everybody bring a sack lunch. I'm like,
You should start increasing as you get better. The work get better, the money get better, and everybody eats. Because
everybody, and that's what my budget for Jade's Heart.
mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm paying everybody what I can pay them, and I'm not trying to, you make
Yeah.
100, you make 100. I'm trying to pay people. Like, I
Hey,
don't want to. I don't want to ever be like that. If you give me the money to pay people, I'm going to pay people, and God's going to take care of what we need to take care of.
and I
I'll have
think,
money for P&A, and all that, but I'm not going to be cheating everybody on every corner I can.
the thing is it could be it's because, unfortunately for our people, we're constantly trying to copy somebody else's business model and the way they operate, which isn't healthy. You have to unlearn what you learned, but have an understanding of it.
Let me tell you what I said this week. I told somebody the other day, I said, God gave me a gift, and I'm not going to let the world run it.
Mm,
Period.
right. There you go.
Now, what you watch this week?
So, Wakanda Forever. I Thursday night we already bought tickets for 2 days. Now we canceled one set of tickets because we were going with a couple because we took off the 11:11, which is good because my foot was, you know.
Amen. Yeah.
So I stayed in bed yesterday. So but we saw it, and we might my Tiffany and I may be on the Regal Cinema
Okay.
United Artists website because
Okay.
they took the manager PR person took a picture of us in front of the Wakanda sign. Um, so there's one I put up with we got the mask on. I think Tiffany took the one without the mask. We took our mask off, and so we take a picture. But yeah, it was fun. It was um I can't say it's what I expected, but it is somewhat what I expected it to be. I knew they were going to
Okay.
pay a tribute and a homage to Chadwick Boseman, and that it was going to be Shuri's journey to become who she is, dealing with the death of her brother. Um, in that, it bothers me that so many people are like, "Don't go see it, um, boycott it. It's taking the power away from men. There's taking away black men, superheroes, and all this. It's
Shut
called
up, Michael.
speculation mentality, man. Speculation mentality. You
Shut
ain't
up,
seen it.
Michael. They
If
did
you
not say that.
people I've been following, well, I was following some people. Some people removed me from certain groups or pages because they didn't like how I come. Because I come with some sense. I'm a solution oriented person. Okay, so people, you know me, I like solutions. When people start talking about boycotting something, I want to know why. Right? Oh, it's emasculating men. Okay, men can do it to themselves. you know, uh, how we tell the stories, we have the power to tell the stories we want to tell. That's why I'm very big on ownership in independent films, but I am big on supporting other projects and mainstream films because that's what helps us. It's a partnership. It's kind of a catch-22 when we're not wise enough. But I find people want to complain more than come up with a solution. Like, okay, so are you making a black superhero movie now? Because if you're not, please shut up and sit down. Like that's how I look at the world. Because if you're not gonna make this, if you're not gonna make something that we can, and then make sure it's good quality. Because remember, Black Panther opened up at 25 million on a Thursday. This one did 28 million Thursday night. Black Panther was at 130 million, I think, or 120 something million for the weekend. Had one of the biggest, largest weekends, and it actually, the original Black Panther, the first one with Chadwick, gross the highest for a standalone Marvel superhero movie. The highest, $1.38 billion.
And that's collectively worldwide, correct?
Yeah,
And
collectively worldwide.
that
So,
28 million was only domestic.
well, no, the 25 million for Black Panther. So Black
No,
Panther
I'm saying the
2
one you said when
beat,
you said 28 million
yeah,
Thursday.
Black Panther 2 beat Black Panther by 28
Yeah.
million for Thursday night, where Black Panther. So Black Panther 2 is the 15th largest preview opening night, which is Thursday night, because the actual opening night or opening day was 11/11 yesterday, Friday. So I when people say boycott, and I step back and I said, you see all those black people they employ when you go watch this movie, you see the people not only just in front of the scenes but behind the scenes. You see that they shot it at some of it at Tyler Perry's production studio in Atlanta. And they employed people there as well.
I could have been on Black Panther, but anyway.
Right.
No, they sent the notice, but I could it
Should have
was
did
I
it.
was out of
I'd
town or
have loved to
something.
see TK. I know
Oh,
her.
Black
I
Panther, you
mean,
can
I saw
tell
some
me
people I
nothing.
know, but I know her.
I just walk around like this if I was on Black Panther as an extra. I just walk around like this every day. You couldn't tell me nothing.
I'm telling you, like, and I don't like debating people about the MCU because I read comic books and collect them. So, what I've known about Black Panther since I was a little kid. So it's like if you've been to my house, people who know me, my top floor is called Wakanda. Is the Panthers lair because of my collection, my extensive collection that some people don't see. And my wife, she see anything Black Panther, she be like, I'll pick it up. you know,
I know that's right. My baby wants this. I need to get this
yeah,
on
and
my
then she's
bed.
gotten into it. I got her into it, and so it's there's a power to it. And there was one young lady, I think she was some psychology professor, I don't know, but she posted,
Hey
"How you
Thomas.
doing, Thomas?"
We always
Uh,
know it's you now when you say Facebook user.
she posted on her page, the reason she wasn't going to see it was because it takes away little boys from having a black male superhero, and I was
Look,
like, that her post alone told me she don't read comic books, because I can name all the black male superheroes if you really want to know.
because that was the only one, right? That
That's
was
the
the
only
only
one
one.
they think that's
Yeah,
the only
that's
one
the only one.
most people know of to an extent, because Luke Cage, Blue Marvel. Like I said, I can go, Bishop, which I was hoping Method Man could play for X-Men, Bishop, because he wants to play him. But that's what I'm saying. And I can talk about the DC black superheroes. So Falcon, people are forgetting
Young
about Falcon.
Falcon.
He's now Captain America, but he was Falcon, and he was a character. He is an actual comic book character. He wasn't just created out of nowhere. And so there's so many different black characters. And yes, there's women, there's men. And I like the fact that you had two other cultures in this film. What's up? I
Derek.
think that's Derek.
Derek. Derek.
What's up, man?
We know you guys now.
So like it's so powerful that when I say, hey, and this is we're transitioning because that's the only project I got to see this week anyway. Yeah, I don't really watch anything. I've been busy working, have so
Wow.
many grades.
I'm poof. You watched one thing this week? You watched one thing.
I watch TV shows, but like that's the only movie I watch, and most of the TV shows I've watched are all reruns. Like I was watching My Wife and Kids
Okay.
and In the House, the LL Cool J show that was produced by LL Cool J and Quincy Jones. Um, I've been watching that stuff.
Okay.
So yeah.
I did watch an episode of America, 2 episodes of American Greed in the heat of the night. Okay, but
See,
anyway.
and then I also watched the original, the first Black Panther movie.
Okay.
Um,
See, you did watch some more stuff.
but
I
not.
was
I
like,
mean, I've
there's
seen
no
it
way.
before. Like this is things I've
It
seen
doesn't
before.
matter. It
It
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter. I got whatever I
It's
watch this
called
week. I
what you
better
watching,
say
not
this is what I watch.
what you watching new. It's called what you watching, not what you watching new.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
you
I'm on.
named it, so I'm just saying.
Okay, so you know what? Oops, I was wrong. I did watch something else.
What you watch?
So Key and Peele have a animated Halloween called Window and Wild on Netflix. It was interesting, uniquely interesting.
Okay.
It's not a subject matter I'm totally. It was a cool film, but I don't know if it was for kids.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if it's something I would show my kids. I mean, it subject matter is always a big thing to me, but there was some story stuff to it. But when spirituality, when you deal with demons and things like that, I'm very careful sometimes. But it still had a moral to it and still had some things, but it did talk about social issues. It did talk about that. About within the film, they talked about these people trying to build a prison, for-profit prison. That's why I'm saying, like, it's a social thing. So, like, you can expect community things in their work. So it just depends. But it was something to check out for yourself. I can't say if it was good or bad. I liked it to an extent, but there's aspects about it. There's good for it and there's some bad for it for me. But overall, it was an interesting thing. Tiffany on there, and she started getting into it, then she kind of dozed off a little bit, but she was tired. She's been working on her page, her stuff that she's been doing for Instagram and YouTube and everything.
When are we gonna have her on?
She said you two need to talk. That's all I heard. So, sister, you need to talk to boy.
All right, I will call my sister tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
On the
So
line with Bill Gibson and Deborah. Oh,
okay. So yeah, that was it. That was one. I saw something else, but I can't remember what it is. And that's bad. It wasn't a bad movie, but I just can't. In my brain, I'm like, what was it that I watched? So yeah. But so what I was saying about the Wakanda Forever, because it was a really great movie. I liked it. I give it a 9 out of 10. There's some little things, but those little things I can get past. It could have get a 10 out of 10, but it is a little long at some points. It makes you feel like, okay, they could sped that up a little bit because it's 2 hours and 40
2
minutes.
hours and 41 minutes.
But
Plus preview.
it's worth it. And that's why I said, don't listen to people who speculate. Here's the thing. I'm so tired of people who haven't seen something talk about stuff. If you haven't experienced it, just go ahead and sit this one out. It's okay to sit it out. What's up, Regina? How you doing? Happy Saturday morning. So it's okay to sit this one out if you haven't seen the movie. But it's a fun movie. It does pay homage. Some dude was talking about he felt that it's exploiting Chadwick Boseman's death. Listen, that's a perception that you want. That's up to you. It doesn't exploit his death. What it does is it helps people deal with grieving. That's a powerful thing because how we respond to losing someone, there's a message in that. How we respond to losing someone could determine the path we take or did not take. And, no spoilers, of course. But there's so much packed in that movie. And stay to the mid credits. I say stay to the end credits. See everybody that was involved, every place they filmed
That's
it.
another hour.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is in the Marvel movie. It's another hour. Hey,
It wasn't
Valencia.
that long.
Felicia. Sorry,
Hey,
Felicia.
Felicia, how you doing? Good morning. So just stay, enjoy it. You'll like it. Listen, that mid-credit scene will set you up and make you go, oh, and then you'll come back and tell everybody shut up like I did. So
But you know what? That's what it's funny because when Marvel movies, when I went to see Black Panther in the theater
mhm.
the first time, uh nobody moved. Like when the movie was over, not one person moved because they already knew that it was going to be something at the end.
Yeah.
Because I guess that's all Marvel movies. And
Well,
so
the thing
no,
is,
not one person moved, huh?
so if you're in the comic books, people were hoping to see an image of Doom. He is coming to the Marvel universe, but you're not going to see him in this. The reason is that mid-credit scene has multiple messages for people. That's why I tell people shut up. And it again, it's you got to remember it's Chadwick. It's that moment of saying, "What's up, Adrian?" It's that moment of saying, this is what we're doing next with this. And they tell you Black Panther will return. So, and this is what the thing is, and this is where I tell people with comic books, you have multiple universes. Right now, they're in the multiverse with all these Marvel movies, and that's the big issue because they got Kang coming, which means I'm going to go see Ant-Man when it drops, of course. Now I did okay, so Riri was cool. If you know who Riri Williams is, she is Ironheart in the comics, and she's cool. I'm not a fan of the suit as much because it looks really funny to me compared to the ones in the comics. But I get what they're doing there, staring away from her Iron Man look that she has in the comic books. But she's older in the movie than she is in the comics because in the comics she's 15. In the movie they make her, I think, 19 years old. 18 or 19. I wish she was 15. I was like, make her 15 because that young girls know how intelligent they can be at such a young age. It's always about empowerment. And you have all these characters. And the one thing, and this is not a spoiler because we know this from the original Black Panther, Shuri lets people know because the question comes up, well, how did you get your technology skills and stuff? My brother. You see what I'm saying? People have to understand that we as people, we're creating battles amongst our women and men for no reason.
No reason.
No reason. It's
No
okay
reason.
for us to stand together. It's okay for women to be powerful and men to be powerful. Because when two people come together,
Come on. Preach.
we make things. Wait, what's that song?
I'm gonna move it by myself. I'm gonna
myself,
force
but
it together.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Tiffany said that to me all the time because
Come on.
what we by ourselves, we have done so much in our lives. But when we came together, things were much
Woo.
quicker and smoother, and we were much more powerful.
Come on.
And we have these two heads that are very intelligent that working together. I
Come
don't
on.
take my wife's intelligence away. I don't take her strength away. The things that she has done, I commend her. I clap for her. I cheer her on. I say, hey, find who you want to be and what you want to do, and I will support it because that's what we're supposed to do. It's not a
Amen.
weekend. I'm not emasculated. I'm. My wife tell you, she'd be like, my husband alpha male. You don't play that. She'll tell you straight up. Because to me, and we're gonna get back to film, but just to let brothers know, if you're really an alpha male, nothing will bother you because the lion that runs. If you've watched Beast, the main lion that runs stuff, he ain't bothered by nobody. And remember that the lionesses go out and hunt. So where's their strength? Where's the pride goes out and get. So a real lion, don't care because they know when it does come time to make things happen, it happens. So I'm just letting y'all know. All right. So we were talking about Black Panther, and it was so good because both Black Panthers are about a hero's journey. Exactly. They're quiet and observant. They know
That's
what to do.
Thomas. That's Thomas saying
I'm
that. I can
telling you.
tell you.
I don't know if it's Thomas or Derek.
I'm,
Either one.
I'm telling you. That comment just came from Thomas. I'm
There we
telling
go.
you.
But I'm gonna just put it right here. Boom. They're quiet and observant. We don't have to go through all that. It's when you feel like you got to prove. That's a beta male attitude to me. Like you got to prove. So I don't prove nothing to nobody because I do what I do when I do it.
Come on.
So,
I do what I do when I do it. Hey, do what I do when I do it.
but
Hey, hey.
I'm telling you. But that being said, um, I just want to talk. We're going to transition to two things. So let's talk about supporting, because if you have to choose what movies you want to support. But when I do hear us talk about boycotting all the time, remember that historically boycotting came with a plan. When they boycotted the buses, they got up earlier in the morning and they drove each other to work. They had a system they created. When you just, in today's society, when you yell out, boycott it, don't watch it, there's no solution. There's nothing to change. There's nothing to stabilize the system that you're trying to destabilize. And because you're working in tandem with something. So if you destabilize this system, you're destabilizing your own system. It's a catch 22 at this point. So, like I said, there's so many black actors involved in that film. There's so many black writers or directors and music producers, people who are getting paid to work and getting jobs and boosting their career and opportunities. And when you go boycott it because I don't agree with something, it takes away. And think about this, in the same breath, you just boycotted yourself, because when the moment you start canceling something, you're going to ask people to cancel your stuff if they don't agree with it. My thing is, if I don't like something, I just don't go watch it. I don't tell the rest of the world not to watch it. I don't get on a soapbox. If I don't like it, I don't like it. TK may like something I'm not a fan of. I wasn't a fan of Titanic. Still saw it because I believe you shouldn't talk about stuff if you don't know nothing about it. And Titanic was okay. It was okay. It just, it was all right. You know, we're the only ones that speak like that. Unfortunately, I see it so much. Well, I can't say we're the only ones that speak like that, but we do it without a real plan. We are the ones that always want to boycott or always want to cancel somebody without any plan or really understanding. It's like the court of public opinion, and this is how other groups in society impact us, because because we're the court of public opinion people, we jump on the bandwagon instead of, I don't agree with that. Let me do some more research. Let me check this out for real and make sure I'm going to jump on board on something here. Or we're always, it's like we're either crabs in a barrel pulling each other down, or we're telling people not to do something and we're too adamant about it. When you're too driven about something, it starts making me question you. Folks think pieces of the Woman King were on my nerves. Yeah, and that bothered me, because if you don't go see it, then sit it out. Go ahead, it's okay. You didn't like it. They always want to attack something, but what I found is some groups of people and some actual people. I'm not gonna call names out, but I should. But some actual people in film groups, they're doing it for you to go look at their YouTube channel.
That's
And
what we ain't gonna talk about that.
I always say, look at your source. Because what I saw was a person tearing down our women, but bigging up other women, and they were black. I'm aware of those things. I believe in fairness, equality for all people. I love everybody, but I notice if you're always constantly attacking one group of people, but you're always bigging up another group of people, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, and then you're going to tell me you're about our people. You're not about our people. You're hugged up, all this stuff. Nah, don't play them games with me. I will call that out. Because I'm too old to play games with foolishness and people. And then the person gets talking about they 56 years old. You 56 years old, and you should be wise enough to know. So that's my 2 cents at that. But all I'm saying is we have to be mindful, because if those actors aren't getting jobs and opportunities, those actors can become your investors for your independent film. And because they've been seen in a movie that's been mainstream, now that pushes you up in your distribution. Their resume matters. Now, there's Tubi, there's this, but here's the thing. Oh yeah, I was in Black Panther, and you can see me in these couple of scenes, and people recognize it. And then that person's in another movie, and they're in another movie, and they're in some international movies. Because some of those women who are in Adora Milaje, they're not American. They're German, they're African, they're Haitian, they're Jamaican. They're from all, and there have been movies in other countries.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so you could be
That's awesome.
missing the opportunity to reach a larger audience because you want to boycott a film and you don't see an actor and you're like, wait a minute, she was in, oh yeah, I want this person. Or oh, he was in. So we do that to ourselves. And people were like, oh, there's no men in that movie. There's a lot of men in the movie, people, by the way. And M'Baku is my boy. Even though he's a bad guy in the comic books. But in the MCU, yes, he is smart. And that's the guy. And they don't kill him off. They keep him. See? So again, that's the thing I want you guys to think about. But we have to, so because that us supporting mainstream black films, and it's black, yes, it's under Disney, but the director and the writer are black, right? Most of the actors in the film are black. The main characters are black. The people who created the costumes and the sets were black. So this is what I'm saying. You're getting our people employed. You're getting them an opportunity, which they could come help us with our stuff because they've worked on a bigger project and get a deeper understanding. This is where
Yes.
we
And you're
forge the
not far
relationship.
fetched from them in the independent world either. I have
Yes.
somebody coming on my set to work as a wardrobe supervisor, and she's been doing wardrobe and stuff for Stranger Things, Kindred, like a whole bunch of TV shows. So
There you go.
yes.
So we have to be smarter at how we operate. I'm an independent person. I am all about keeping the rights to your work and having your stuff and be able to make multiple stories or build on things. And you take what mainstream is doing and incorporate some of that business savvy in your stuff, but be wise and just within what you're doing. Be fair. I want my people to get paid. I'm a big person on that. If I'm eating, you should be eating.
That's
Um,
right. That's right.
so but I also know that if my budget is this, like I'm just gonna be, if I got $10,000 or $15,000 budget, then that's what I'm operating off of. And I might not be paying myself up front anything. I probably won't be, but I'll make something on the tail end. And then sometimes I'll say, hey, I'm gonna do a point system. Here's your points. And then we all make something together. And some people I'll be like, no, I'm gonna pay you outright because I don't want too many. I'm a person also got to be mindful. You can't have too many hands in a pot because you have to make something to be able to make the next thing because you got to reinvest your money. And that's business. That's business sense, so you don't overextend yourself. We have to be careful in that on business, but we should be making alliances. This is when what bothered me a long time ago was people like, oh, all these British actors playing black characters. There's so many British actors playing regular American characters that are white. We're the only people that complain about that dumb stuff. They're trying to separate us. No, they're
We
not.
complain about it a lot.
They're trying to hire the people who are good at what they do. And you should be too.
Whoop. Period.
I'm not offended. Be good at what you do. If somebody else gets chosen over me, then I'm gonna go do what I go do best. There ain't one door that opens if I create them. So, all right, we gonna move forward. I know, right? I'm sorry, TK.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
All right, let's have fun. We are gonna move to, and TK's about to share. Bum, ba-da, poof. I thought you were doing the screen sharing already, TK.
I did. Well, I couldn't
There
do
we
it
go.
if. Oh wait, y'all see that? Hold on. It's the wrong screen. Hold on. I do have it up.
You want me to go back to
There it
us?
is. No, I have it.
Oh,
I have
okay,
it
here
up.
we go. Here we go.
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't come up. Hold on. But I do have it.
We put TK in that screen. There, bam, there she is.
Wait. Oh, here it is. I'm like, I have it up. Why it didn't show? There it is. Okay. Promise. There
So
you go.
we're talking about the hero's journey. Boom! Look at that. Ooh, that's some good stuff right there, TK. So the hero's journey. It is. All right, so the first act. All right, so the hero's journey is what most of your superhero movies or pretty much any movie might use to talk about characters and what the character goes through to become who they're going to become. Because what we all know about filmmaking is how your character starts in the beginning is not how they're going to end up at the end. There should be some sort of change. Now, they could remain the same, but there's a reason if they did remain the same, and it's usually um, a moral to their story of not changing.
And that means the people around them should change.
Change.
So two things. Something should change in the story. Either people around your character should change or your character should change.
Right.
Keep going.
So so with the hero's journey, um, and this is from Andrew Young, and it's basically the psychology of storytelling, and that we all connect with. It's a mythology based storytelling that has transcended from Egypt to now, from every country understands the hero's journey. Every person connects with the hero's journey. Your life is a hero's journey. Let's take a kid who's struggling with middle school. And their regular life is they're around their parents and everything's good for them. They're perfect. Their grades are perfect. And maybe they get to middle school and it's not the world they're looking at, which could be The Diary of a Wimpy Kid, if you guys are familiar with that, those books and movies. The journey of going from elementary school to middle school, and middle school is different. And the person trying to fit in. So we take a kid, and this is what I use with my own students when I teach them. Your life is a hero's journey because you're the hero of your story. So the call to adventure is, how does the character receive the call to adventure? What do they go through that sets them apart? Well, their call to adventure could be the need for acceptance, and something happens. Maybe something comes up missing and they have to prove that they weren't the one that took it. Is that a good analogy, TK? Am I?
Yeah,
Or
and
what would
it's
you
funny
do?
because the first four things I thought about my life, so it was kind of funny. I filled in all of those. So I always compare movies to real life because it is. I mean, most of the time it's realistic with a bit of fantasy. But yeah. So how do they receive the call? So if someone takes something,
It's usually the inciting situation that
the
moves that
inciting
call.
incident, right,
Inciting
which is
incident.
page,
Yeah.
yeah, which I call page 10. So the inciting incident, um, and then um, and then does the character immediately accept the call? Which
Right.
normally it has to be no, because if they say yes, then there's no journey. So they have to deny it at first until they realize that they are supposed to accept the call later in the film. Because if they just pick it up, what you say, they somebody stole the ball and they thought it was him, he has to prove that he didn't do it. It's
Right.
like, so depending on the way you look at it, if the character accepts the call immediately, it takes away from the journey.
Right. So
Because
usually
usually,
they refuse it.
again,
Like, I didn't do it.
right,
I'm not going. It's not my ball. I can care less.
the point of realization is usually when the character, like, remember we did that outline with the family.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the point of realization was when the dad figured out he was the one that was supposed to save his son. Remember, and they were looking to other people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, just an example. So,
I
does the
mean,
character accept the call immediately?
right.
If they do, there's a journey. If they don't, I mean, they do, you have to make sure you still create that journey. And if they don't, that gives you the journey to them accepting the call.
And it's funny because you could watch pretty much any movie. Like, go watch Black Panther, the first one. I won't do that on the second one because I want you to enjoy it. But watch the first Black Panther and say, what's his call to adventure? What is setting him in motion? It's uniquely done because you actually have two stories going on at the same time. You have T'Challa and Killmonger, who are the exact opposite of each other, who both then meet in the middle to find their similarities. So that changes, which is where this isn't a locked in stone thing. Like, so these are the information we're sharing with you, but they're not locked in stone. Once you understand the basics of it and how it works, you can start to manipulate it to make more intriguing stories. And that's how I
Absolutely.
look at it. Right. So call to adventure is basically when the hero starts off, they have a mundane life. It's just every day, the way they live. And it's just, all of a sudden something happens. They receive information um, that makes them have to act upon it. But in most cases, they don't. They have what we call the refusal of the call. So then they don't do it. Right. And then we could say the answering the call. That's another aspect. What do they do to answer the call? Right? If you've seen Star Wars, there's this message from Princess Leia: "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope." And Luke Skywalker sees the message. He was going to take the droids to go find Obi-Wan Kenobi, but R2D2 jets off and go looks on his own. They catch up with Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is the wise man, because there's different characters when it comes to the hero's journey that we'll talk about. Probably should we do it at a later time, like a part 2?
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna just do the hero's journey, how it works, because this is, the mythology of this. So then, there's a supernatural aid. Obi-Wan has the Force. There's this Force ability in the Star Wars universe. With superhero movies, their superpower. T'Challa has the herb, that vibranium created, that they take ingest to give him superpower, to be the Black Panther, and the abilities. So in different movies, everybody gets something. Batman's very intelligent. He has certain skill sets that makes him want to be protect Gotham, and he learns all these trades and tricks and devices, and he has money at his disposal that he can build technology to aid him. Right. So crossing the threshold. Here we go. This is all what we call Act 1. So crossing the threshold is when you're going to move from Act 1 to Act 2. So Act 1 is call to adventure, refusal of the call, answering the call, and supernatural aid, and crossing the first threshold. So that's what happens. All right. Oh, the guide master. Oh, I'm sorry. That thing gives you the whole thing. That gives you everything. So the guide master was Obi-Wan Kenobi type of character. There's always an older person or a wiser person that can guide you through your situation. And usually something tragic might happen to them. If you think of Black Panther, the guide master for T'Challa was not Shuri. Florence Whitaker's character. Yeah, and then something happens to him. But he told him everything he needed to know and to believe in himself, and he understood. And then also another guide for them was their ancestors when they go see them. So they kind of have two. See how that works? You know it. So now they have two guide masters. So it's kind of interesting. And then you have your Han Solo character, which to me was M'Baku. You didn't know which way he was going to go, for or against. So you always got that person. But so the road to trials. So those are the things your character goes through. What are specific challenges does your character have to face? So what are the challenges this middle school kid has to face? What they got to go through? Maybe they find a friend. They got the old teacher or the janitor. Usually people use the janitor. In some movies, it's so interesting. The janitor's been there for years, know all this stuff. If you look at it, the hero's journey in what's the TV show with the kids in school? Dang, why things slip my mind. With the written by the young lady, Abbott Elementary. Boom. The janitor's wise. The teachers are wise, so they have multiple wise characters in there. And what are the trials of the teacher? What are they going through? So what does the kids go through? What does that kid go through that they have to see? All right. So we go from there. Sorry, TK got this moving.
Can y'all hear that noise?
No, I don't hear any noise.
Okay, good. Okay.
All right. So you got your road to trials, then you got your brother battle. So does the hero battle physical or mentally with someone who is a relative or a close friend? So you can have that aspect. Remember in Black Panther, he battles his cousin. Boom. As you guys can see, I was using this because I wrote my paper based on this, by the way. I used Black Panther as my paper on the
Oh, well,
road.
that's
So
perfect.
I
That's
know, right?
perfect.
So when I was breaking the stuff down, this is what I used.
Your
Um,
picture's supposed to be in the circle. Okay, go ahead.
my picture's supposed to be in a circle. What?
Am you in the circle?
Yeah, I'm on the
Okay,
other
good.
side. We right next to each other. You across from each other. What?
Oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah, because I'm just sitting here. I'm listening. No, this is good. Keep teaching. Keep teaching.
All right. So, so you battle someone, a relative. And even in Black Panther, he battled not only his cousin, but his dad. Because he did not agree with the ideology that his dad abandoned his cousin behind to the rest of the world. Because in the
Woo, that's
comic
good.
books, T'Challa is raised outside of Wakanda. See, people don't know that.
That's good.
Um,
Hmm.
so they took parts of that and they finagled them. But so there's two battles. So the beauty about Black Panther is you're seeing that they were running two heroes' journeys at the same time, and they had multiple of each one, not just one, because our stories as time progressed have become much more complicated. Because let's just be real, people are looking for more. We couldn't shoot the original Friday the 13th today; it would be PG to somebody because you don't. It would be a murder mystery. I always say that. Like the original Friday the 13th would be a murder mystery today. Now you have to have this supernatural guy. You got to see him, and the blood's got to be more. The head got to get rolling
Oh
down
my
the street.
God.
You got to see so much more to the
They gotta,
point.
why do
If
they have to do that these days?
because we
I
have a
can't, I can't
heightened,
stand that.
but we
I,
have a heightened level of desire to see more
yeah,
because
people
more
murdered,
attracts
people
us.
eyes gorged out right in front of the camera.
But
Like
we know
people,
it's fake.
remember, what was that? The death videos that everybody was renting?
Oh, the A Thousand Ways to Die or the Five Faces of
No, it was
Death,
the other one. It was a long one. It
the
was like
Five
something
Faces to
death.
Death or something like that.
Faces of Death.
Mm-hmm.
Faces of Death. I worked at a video store. Those videos were always sold out. We are obsessed.
Because
Why
people want more.
the hell are we obsessed with watching people
But
die, gorged, get stabbed, blood coming out? Why are we obsessed with that? Anyway, keep moving.
because people want more. You get more sex scenes, you get more violence, you get more. We want more. So storytelling has to be a lot more complex. We have to understand that.
I'm
Um,
not doing all that. That's too.
you
That's
don't have to do it, but I'm just saying, like I
I
do
know. I'm
still like
like that's
older
ridiculous.
movies. I still enjoy The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I still enjoy the original Dracula. I still enjoy classic films because there was a simplicity to them that was still great storytelling,
Yes,
right?
that and that.
But we got to remember that the audience wants more. So we have to be more complex in our writing. Meeting the goddess. Does the hero meet with the character with special beauty and power? Right. Um,
Yes. Sorry about
so
that.
in Black Panther, you had Lakoya, right? You had different the women around the Dora Milaje. So you had that. He didn't
He
meet
had
them.
that
He already
special,
had
and
them.
he had that
Oh,
special.
right. He had the one he was in love with. So abduction, the character is kidnapped or someone close to the hero is kidnapped. Well, in Black Panther, they aren't kidnapped. But remember when he's defeated, he's taken away from everybody and they assume he's dead.
Yes.
So that's part of their journey. See how things are a bit more complicated. So like I said, these are just basics on right storytelling, but it's changed. Um,
Mhm.
Then you have the night or the sea journey. Where do the heroes' travels take them? Remember, for him, his travels took him to M'Baku's land, right?
Mhm.
The mountain people. For his sister and his mother, they were escaping from Wakanda to that land to seek refuge. So
Yep.
you see that happening. Um, Remember, he's taken by water. So there's the sea, and he's found by a fisherman. They're taken at night. See, the two just came together. They're taken at night, and they run away. Then the dragon battle. Does the hero battle some kind of monster does the hero face an inner demon. The hero faces the monster the hero faces in Black Panther was his ancestors before him because they abandoned Killmonger and they abandoned the rest of the world. That is why at the end of the movie, T'Challa decides that Wakanda is going to help the world by sharing resources.
Yeah.
But you're going to see some really deep ones if you go see the second movie. All right, so ritual death or dismemberment. Is the hero injured? Remember that we still see that. So some of these things are not in total order, but the ritual death, right there. Does the hero's injured? Remember, T'Challa was injured, presumed dead, at sea through a ritual, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's stabbed. He's not dismembered, so he doesn't lose a limb. In Star Wars: Return to Empire Strikes Back, Luke Skywalker loses his hand, right? Darth Vader at one point loses his hand, his arm, both legs, and that's how Anakin becomes Darth Vader. So that's his journey. He changes to the dark side. See how that goes? So again, the writing changes. And here's what. So most of your writers and filmmakers have studied the hero's journey and mythology because they take from it to tell stories, and they take from other cultures. So the atonement is the hero reunited with his father in some way. Remember the atonement? He goes and talks to, when he takes the herb again, he goes and talks to his father again. He tells him he's going to set
That's
things
true.
right.
Hey, and Simba talked to his daddy through the water, remember?
There you go. Yeah. No, the mountain, the clouds.
Was it the clouds?
Yeah,
Okay.
Simba.
Yeah, Simba talked to his daddy through the clouds.
So, you know, enter the belly of the whale. So the hero must, and this is all really Act 2 still. We haven't even got to Act 3 yet. This is all Act 2. The belly of the whale.
50 pages.
And in the belly of the whale, it represents the final separation from what the hero knows of the world and their self. And they enter into this stage of their life, which is they're showing the willingness to undergo a shape of change, right? So in that, the character, that's when they shift. So when T'Challa says to his dad, no, I'm going to embrace him and try to change this situation. If he doesn't, he has to fight him, but he's going to help the rest of his people around the world. So he still takes on the moniker that what Killmonger comes under, but just in a more positive way that doesn't have to be about revenge, right? And again, they go to Bass, which is the god they represent in Wakanda. So that's who they worship, the goddess Bass. So see, y'all learning this, right? All right. So then the ultimate, boom, the magic elixir. Well, that's the herb, right? That magic elixir is the herb, and that helps them to resolve that potion that he uses. And then he also, another magic elixir for Black Panther would be his suit that is made of vibranium that helps him fight, as well as the elixir that levels the playing field. So then we have the return. So the refusal return, does the hero initially refuse to return to the homeland or the place that he began his journey? Well, in this case, T'Challa doesn't physically doesn't want to return. It's their policies, the way they did things. He doesn't want to return to that old thinking of Wakanda, right? So it can be a physical thing or it can be a mental state to avoid returning to old ways, right? And you can break this down with Harry Potter, Star Wars, Jaws. There's so many different, Wizard of Oz, a lot of people use this with. So magic, flight, and pursuit. Is there some point, generally towards the end, where the hero is being chased or is otherwise trying to escape something? So in this case, you didn't have that really as much in Black Panther. You didn't have it with T'Challa, you had it with Killmonger. Killmonger was trying to avoid coming away from vengeance. So when Killmonger talks to his dad, when he takes his the dream state with the herb, and he says, you're at my homeland, my son. Is this? He's like, he wanted to burn everything down. Him burning the herb was him burning the world and Wakanda.
Ooh.
So it was always a metaphor for his emotional state. He wants to burn everything down because he was left alone. And the
Mm.
very people he thought should have embraced him abandoned him and killed his father.
Mm.
So his hero's journey was, I'm avoiding not burning things down. I'm going to burn it down. I'm not going to avoid this. I'm going to do it. And when he could have went the other path and embraced T'Challa, right? So the rescue from without. So there's someone in this point of the story, all seems hopeless. When they're fighting, remember when they're fighting, M'Baku's tribe comes and supports them. Because they thought they weren't going to have help. They were going to be defeated when they blow that horn and the rhinos come, and they thought it was the end because they were watching the Dora Milaje getting their butt whooped by the other tribe of the security of her husband's tribe. And so what ends up happening is M'Baku comes in with his people and they boom,
Mm-hmm.
that whoo, whoo, and they tear stuff up. So when all hope is lost in Star Wars, when hope was lost, when they didn't know if Darth Vader was going to blow up Luke's ship, here comes Han Solo, swoop in, boom. That one character that we don't think is going to help us helps us. Because you got to have that character. You'll see that in a lot of movies. If you look at Pirates of the Caribbean or the Caribbean, however you say it, Captain Jack is that type of character. You can't trust him. You don't know if you can trust him. But when all hope was lost, here he comes in to help Orlando Bloom's character. All right, crossing the return threshold. Is there some point where the hero clearly returns home? T'Challa returns home, but here's what happens at the end of Black Panther. Where do they go? They go to Killmonger's home, where his father was murdered, to his neighborhood, and they set up a science school, a Wakandan place for the community to connect, to help that community rise up in a Black community, to educate them and get them into technology and STEM. So that was the beginning of the relations, right? Master of Two Worlds. Here we go. See? Does it appear that the hero has conquered life, both the familiar and unfamiliar worlds? Remember, T'Challa is familiar with Wakanda and Wakanda ways. And then now he's listened to his cousin, even though he defeated him, he still listened to him, and he went to the outer world and
Yeah.
opened up the gates of Wakanda to them. So that's what your hero does. Your hero now walks between both worlds. Okay. And the freedom to live. Since the hero typically begins the journey to resolve the problem, does it appear the problem is at least resolved so that he can live freely? He's accepted who he is. He was afraid to be king and follow in his father's footsteps. He realized his father's footsteps were not the right way because of what happened to his uncle, the murder of his uncle, the abandonment of his cousin. And he decides to walk in his own footsteps as King of Wakanda and the Black Panther, and connecting Wakanda to the rest of the world in a peaceful manner. So that's the hero's journey right there. That's how telling stories, planning that out works. That would be Act 3, the resolve. I hope we helped y'all guys. Y'all got questions and stuff. I wasn't looking too much at the bottom side. I wasn't sure. But yeah, that was quick though. Did I miss anything, TK? Did I miss anything, sis?
No, no. And breaking it down with the Black Panther, I'm glad you. Yeah, that was like you had that. And like for people that and you have to think of it. That's why I was like, oh, I related it to Simba because I'm not
Mhm.
a like I couldn't break down Black Panther like Michael did an amazing job just doing. Like I
Oh,
couldn't
thank
do
you.
that. I can probably break down another movie, in that form, but the way he just broke down Black Panther, I was just like, oh, and it was, I was thinking about, I was visualizing the moments in Black Panther when all that stuff happened. So I was like, oh, oh, so I was
Yeah,
learning. I was,
and
yeah, I
and
was,
Ryan Coogler rearranged some of the things of the hero's journey, but it still fits just well.
it still fit because it flowed and it was all there.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, so you can tell he's had that script writing training using the hero's journey, using the 3 act structure, using, certain aspects. Um, and then because I did a research paper on it, about all this
Mhm.
and then other mythologies that we should, because I always say that writers should read other culture books, stories, mythology, beliefs, because you develop better characters that way.
I know. I need to get into some.
Yeah, it's like watching foreign films. You get to see something that you normally don't see in works, or how they shoot, their style of filmmaking, or storytelling. We are accustomed to a very Western civilization
Mhm.
based
We
storytelling
are.
structure, but sometimes to understand the structure allows you to also break it, right? And then when we're exposed to other things, I think I like the melding mindset that you get exposed to this and you expose to this and you get to shape it to something that becomes your style, your thing.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
that's why when you watch a certain person's movie, it looks a certain way or feels a certain way. That's why, we all know Spike Lee style when we see it. We know what to expect in a Spike Lee film when we see it. We expect no one to be walking. They're just moving along the sidewalk, gliding. We expect that because that's part of his style and who he is as a storyteller. We expect those close up in your face shots that he uses and those medium close-ups of his people when they're, because he's a big about getting their emotion or their connection to the character within the story, because the situation is changing the person. Because some people write about characters and some people write the story and place the character in a situation of the story, and that's what's more
Mhm.
important. And you learn the character from the situation, and
Right.
others teach you the character, and the character learns the more themselves being in a situation. And so everybody's style is different and unique, but it makes us all appreciate different people and different storytellers because
Absolutely.
of that, you know. Because I look at a movie and like I tell everybody, to me movies are just train wrecks, ready to happen. We just want to watch and see what happens.
You
That's
just want to
how
watch what happen on the train as it wrecks.
yeah, like it's all about perspective and stance. It's viewpoint. It's your vantage point. Are you on the train? Are you on the railroad? Are you a block away looking at it? Are you in your car sitting at the railroad stop? Are you on the other side of the railroad stop? Because all those vantage points give you a different perspective of the story, and that's why you can have so many great stories from various perspectives. You could actually make a movie. There was a movie called Vantage Point, but you could actually make one movie
That was a good movie.
and tell it from one perspective, and then make
Yep.
another movie and tell it from the bad guy's perspective as if they're the good guy. And
Yep.
you go watch it. I think Clint Eastwood did a version, Letters of Hiroshima. He did one from American perspective and one from the Japanese
Oh wow.
perspective. So you saw the other movie in the other language, and you saw the other movie in our, and it was the same stories though. It was their perspective of it. And I mean, when you really think like that, it's like wow, um, from the Japanese perspective. I'm sorry. So when you think like that, like we can become fascinating storytellers and never run out of ideas because um well, I had a movie called Whatever Happened to Us. In the short version, the husband tells a story. In the
Hmm.
long version, TK and I talked about this. The wife tells her side of a portion of the story. The husband tells his side, and then the kids tell what they see of the parents' story.
Yeah.
And so again, what's their journey, because how the kids see it could be could explain their problem or their situation by seeing what their parents are going through. How the wife see it is her feelings, her emotion, and because we always say there's two sides to every coin, and then we also say, what's that saying? There's their story and their story, but then there's the truth, because the truth is bringing all that together and saying, oh, this is right where y'all messing up at. This is your, and so as storytellers, we have that power. And so when what's your character's journey? Because I don't want to say hero's journey, but everybody's a hero, right, in their own story. But what is your character's journey? What pushes them forward? What is their threshold? What is their fear that keeps them from accepting the challenge? You know, in one movie, it was what Happy Gilmore. I don't know how many people seen Happy Gilmore, but Adam Sandler wants to play hockey. The only thing he ever wants to do is play hockey. He's practiced all his life to play hockey. He goes to his grandmother's house and finds out she's losing her home. And his grandmother raised him and took care of him when he had no parents. He was the only one. So now he doesn't want her to lose her house. She has to go live in a home. He wants to get her out of a home. He gets on a golf course or something, and he hits a golf ball. Oh, they're moving his grandmother's stuff out of her house, and the guys who are moving take the golf club and ball and hit it. And he's trying to get them back to work. And he's like, I bet you I can hit it further than you guys. And they're like, what do we get out of it? And he's like, well, if I hit it, y'all get back to work, get done. Right? If not, don't, y'all can whatever. So he hits it and it flies all the way down the street into somebody's house. And he hits a person in the head through the window. And he breaks the window, then he hits the person in the head with the window. It's because they had him do it twice. And then the guy said, I bet you can't do it again. I'll pay you. They count out money and they hit it again. He hits the guy's wife in the head. So he breaks the window, hit the guy, then hits the guy's wife. They both fall out the window of the house. And then he tell the guy to get his money and said, now get back to work. And then they mentioned golf. And they talked about the golf tournaments. And he looks it up. And he finds out about a golf tournament. And his journey is he wants to win some money. So he goes to his tournament to win the money. And he wins a little bit of money. He's like, okay, I got some money now. And then he needs more money to save the house because he gets duped. So he finds out about the PGA tour and he joins the tour. And all of it is always about making the check. And he's like, wait, why is this check big? But he's the draw because he's not a real golfer. He's a hockey player. And that's the comedy in it. That's the story in it. And he's trying to help. His thing is he's trying to help his grandmother. And he's bringing, now what he's doing for this tour is he's bringing an audience that they never had. He's making them money because one guy's his adversary's trying to get him off the tour.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right? Because he doesn't want it. He's trying to win.
Not a real hockey player, blah, blah.
Yeah. And so that's the hero's journey in a comedy. This is just a comedy about a guy who's trying to save his grandmother's house and, win the money, and he changes his life. And so there's your hero's journey. It's pretty much in anything you watch. Watch your cartoons, A Good Dinosaur, The Lion King, as talked about earlier, Pinocchio. This structure, a form of mythology and storytelling is in everything. The mythical, magical goddess, the fairy godmother, Cinderella. So like, just so we're hoping we're giving y'all some stuff. We're feeding y'all. And if we're feeding y'all, let us know that we're adding to you and getting you thinking, because we want you guys to tell these great stories that we know we're looking forward to seeing from you guys. Actually, in the next year, we're going to support short films, and we're going to support screening some trailers on the show pretty soon, so people can see it, because we want to really dive into this. But there's some movies I gave you, with the hero's journey from various aspects. It doesn't have to be an action movie to have a hero's journey. It doesn't have to be just a comedy. It can be a drama. It can be anything. It's your character's journey through whatever their situation is and who they become after the end. So it happens in many ways. Again, you can watch, like I said, watch Diary of a Wimpy Kid, watch Happy
Watch
Gilmore.
anything.
Yeah, watch anything and see if you can find the hero's journey within it. Once you
Yeah.
start researching that and watching it and breaking films down that way, then you start improving on your writing and your storytelling. And you know the structure that people are looking for because everybody's familiar with the hero's journey. Some people just don't know what to call it, right? We know what to call it because we are filmmakers and this is what we do. But when I teach this to my students, they go, "Oh, that's what it's called." And they try looking at every movie. And I got to tell people, my running joke is my friends can't stand it. I said, Harry Potter ain't nothing but Star Wars. And then one of my other friends, he gets mad. He's like, everything Star Wars. I was like, well, that was my first experience with the hero's journey, really, was Star Wars and a Wiz. So I tell them, Harry Potter and Pirates of the Caribbean, they ain't nothing but Star Wars. But I learned that The Godfather has the hero's journey. Who has Michael Corleone become? You know, even it's a negative thing in a sense, but he becomes a godfather. He didn't want it. His dad wanted him to go to school, get an education. He's in the military. He didn't want that life for him, but he had to take it. And then he had to leave the family, go back to Italy, and then come back home and run the family. Same thing. So everybody uses this pretty much. So TK, you got any gems you want to drop? My sister.
I forgot about the gym. Usually I'm thinking about it. Every week it's the same thing. I'm usually I can't think of one right now. Read and
Ooh,
study. Read and study. And if anyone has any articles on the point system of a movie, send it to me.
there you go.
I want to talk about that one day. Point system.
Yeah, we need to bring some people on. You know what though? Just a shout out to all the filmmakers: Derek, Adrian,
Thomas, Tony.
Jacoby, Valicia. I know she's been working on producing stuff and editing and doing videos and stuff. And but everybody that's been joining us, we appreciate you guys. But we also want to start showcasing and building a panel of people to come on who've done valuable things in the community and have valuable insight and information. So we're going to be working on that. We also have a Zoom call we're going to be producing.
Yes, I was going to say that we're going to set up a Zoom call. I don't know if we should do it. You know when a good time to do it?
What?
Sunday night after Thanksgiving. That may be a good night.
If people are available, some people go hang out. I don't know.
Well, because most people,
Sunday, yeah.
Because most people will be winding down from the whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a good night to do it the Sunday.
And since we won't be on Saturday anyway,
so that might
for holiday break, to do it
might be
Sunday.
a good night to do it. So we'll post that, guys. Please come on and join us on the Zoom so we can all share and talk and interact with each other. And you guys not just listening to us. You do interact some in the comments, but we would love to really interact with you guys, and that's what that Zoom call is for. So we will set that up.
Yeah, because I was thinking for those who saw the Black Panther movie to have like a discussion about it too in private. So we're not giving out spoilers or anything like that. Just the people who've seen it and give perspective. Because I'm curious to see what people think in which direction it's heading. I know where it's heading. I'm curious to know if people see which direction it's heading. Pretty much, I could say it's a wild guess for me, but usually you can just see projections, what direction, what people are doing. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, go see it. I love it. It was fun to watch. It was, you know what? it was interesting. I will say this: it was sad and fun at the same time.
Listen, I'm already like, I know I'm gonna have to bring a box of tissue to Black Panther just from that one of the trailers they cut. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh no, like the trailer was making me cry. So I know good and well if the trailer was making me cry, I said I need to bring a box of tissue for real.
Yeah, the even the Marvel opening thing was all about Chadwick. You know, it was all about what he and what I think what some people don't understand is what he's contributed. He brought to life one of the best-selling comic books out, the Black Panther series. So he brought T'Challa to life. And so to just immediately replace him for some people was hard. For a comic book fan like me, I'm like, you put a new actor in, but then someone brought a point up that I didn't think about. The
Mm-hmm.
people that worked with Chadwick, for them to try to get in the mental state with a new actor in his spot when no other Marvel movie or hero movie had to do that. No one died. Not Iron Man, nothing happened. Hopefully he does, but I'm just saying nothing happened to Robert Downey Jr. Nothing happened when they replaced what's his name on Iron Man as Rhodey, Terrence Howard. He wasn't dead. We saw Terrence Howard again in something else. We saw him in Empire. We saw him in another movie. We saw him in this and that. So it wasn't that. So some people felt like, man, it would have been difficult because he brought this character alive and to make the story really what it is. Because it was hard to tell sometimes were they acting or were they really feeling that moment. Like that's a tough thing when you think about it while you're watching it. Like, man, when she's in tears, you're like, yo, it's not just good acting, but it's like, is she in that place? Like, man, because they did multiple projects with this guy, and he was a really good actor, and he made some valid points when he was speaking on things like, there's not just one black actor. There's not one Denzel. There's not just Will Smith.
Right.
He made that point, and that was the beautiful point. And for actors, we have to stop letting them say, "Oh, that's the guy. We need to put him in every single movie," and showcase more and more of us. But they also look for the dollars. People go where the money is in this industry. So if they know Will Smith is a box office draw or Idris Elba is a box office draw, even us, we're going to go where who's going to bring the money because, again, for investors, we're also looking for return on investment and we're looking at bigger returns. More money invested, more return we're looking for. So we're going with somebody who's going to be the big returns. But for smaller independent film movies, the beautiful part is you don't have to. These back in the day, we were always told if you submitted a film, you don't have any known actors, you don't have any B-list or A-list actors. You need to get somebody on there that has a face that we know. Those days are done. I mean, they're not done, but they've changed. Plus, people are acting in more projects. There are more things on Tubi. There's more things on what's the other one? It's Tubi and there's another one outside of Tubi. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head right now.
It's a
But
lot of them.
yeah, but there are more people getting seen even on Amazon. So
Yeah.
we have this beautiful moment that content is king. We just need to know our worth and make use of it. Take
Amen.
advantage of knowing your worth. Don't overprice or outprice yourself, but try to find the balance in pricing. You can up the price as you progress, but when you jump in there and you try to overprice yourself, you make the mistakes. And you pray about it. If you need to know how much, then you say okay. But again, everyone's worth that's working with you. Pay fairly, support them, their growth, and if we support our films grow. Please study other cultures in their film industry. I'm challenging you to that. Also, Black Filmmakers Lounge community, join it. If you haven't joined it, if you are joining it, know why you're joining it. Start networking, start connecting. I'm leaving challenges up. I didn't do it this Friday, but every Friday I'm going to have a film challenge for you to do something.
Okay.
One was write a log line. The other one before that was research a director and an actor and see how they shape things. So another one might ask you to film something, share it, whatever it is. But I'm challenging you because I want to see you moving forward. And I know for me personally, one of the reasons I even did film school for a period of time was to make sure I never dropped out of filmmaking. Because sometimes you get discouraged or sometimes you get busy with life. Yeah. That made me a consistent. Because TK can tell you, I had to produce a film at least every semester or multiple short films every semester. So it just kept me going and it made me more knowledgeable. So we love you guys. We hope you guys have enjoyed the Black Filmmakers Lounge because we've enjoyed you. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week now. Because, so just a reminder what the Black Filmmakers Lounge is. We thank everybody. The Black Filmmakers Lounge is where independent filmmakers, whether novelists or professionals, come together to gain insight and perspective through education, information, networking, and to discuss industry best practices that will advance the Black independent film community. Because we are a space, we create a space that we all can succeed together. So we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Like, subscribe, and share. Follow the community. Check us out. This will be up on YouTube. Share it with your friends. We're trying to build our YouTube channel. So we love you guys. And thank you. Enjoy your wonderful Saturday. It's a bright, sunny day outside. So go enjoy before it gets snowy. All right. And TK, thank you, my sister. I love you. I appreciate you. You're wonderful. Happy birthday. I want that thing behind you. I want the light up clapboard. That thing is awesome. It looks like an award. That is tight. I'm telling you. Oh, my goodness.
Everybody wants it.
All right, y'all. We love y'all. We'll talk to you later. See you next week. Don't forget to share this if you love us.
Like, subscribe, share.
Peace.